There is a darkness that is spreading across America. A darkness that threatens the greatest attribute that we have as Americans. Do you know what that darkness is? That darkness is productivity, which threatens the very light of innovation. Hello, I'm Warren Martin, and this is Mo Monday, where it's all about getting Big Mo on your side to start out your week. Getting the motivation you need to be able to be who you were created to be this week. Certainly there is a darkness that is spreading across our nation, and it is threatening to put out the light of innovation in America. And you have the opportunity, you have the privilege to be one of the great lights of this nation. You want to know how? I'll share with you how. You see, productivity is what threatens the light of innovation. Because more and more in our schools and in our public life, we are getting more task-oriented, more technical, more specifically oriented to be able to accomplish and do specific tasks. And the problem with this is America cannot compete on this basis. Do you realize that for every American graduate, there are 10 graduates in China? That means that all of the graduates in America have to compete and beat out the top 10% of Chinese students in the area of productivity. America cannot win that battle. Yet America continues to be a leader among nations. How is that possible? Because we have the light of innovation. We think differently. And why do we think differently? Because innovation is powered by purpose. And only in America do we have the freedom to be able to, each one of us have the freedom to be able to pursue, discover, and execute our purpose. You have the ability to discover your purpose, and your purpose, pursuing your purpose, is what lights the light of innovation. Let me give you a classic example of this that comes from the American Revolutionary War. In the Revolutionary War, John Paul Jones, he was a captain that was aboard a ship, and he got into a fight. He got into a scrap, as they might say, with the British. And his ship came alongside the British Serapis. And they went to battle, and his ship took the worst of the first few bouts. In fact, the British finally pulled up beside John Paul Jones' ship, and they gave him the opportunity to surrender. His ship was on fire and sinking. And he looked across at the British ship, and he said, "I have not yet begun to fight." And he continued the fight, and the volleys continued going back and forth. And 3 hours later, the British surrendered the Serapis. And John Paul Jones, what did he do? He took his crew, he took all of his possessions, he loaded them onto the Serapis, and then he watched his own ship sink. You see, the purpose was not for his ship to beat their ship. The purpose was to win the war. The purpose was to overcome the ideological war and the real war that was being fought, regardless of what happened to his ship. You see, in our society today, a lot of times we are stuck on our ships. We're unwilling to see beyond our vessels. We're unwilling to see beyond the businesses that we're a part of. We're unwilling to see beyond the organizations that we're a part of. There is something greater than your business. There is something greater than your organization. There is something greater than all of it, and that is your purpose. Why you were put on this earth. Now, if you don't know your purpose, then I'm putting down on the bottom of the screen some resources that might help you find and discover your purpose. Because your purpose is the greatest freedom that you can exercise in the United States. What is my purpose, you might ask? My purpose is to arouse thought, trusting Jesus Christ to be the ultimate conclusion. But my purpose is to arouse thought in others. And let me tell you right now, I have not yet begun to fight. If you don't know what your purpose is, or if you're not pursuing your purpose today, then truly you have not yet begun to fight. And there is a fight that is greater than the sinking ship you may be on today. You have the ability to step off of that ship and pursue the purpose wherever it might take you. Pursue your purpose beyond organization, beyond business, beyond the social parameters that you're in right now. You have the ability in America to light the greatest light that America could ever light, and that is the light of innovation. And innovation comes directly from you pursuing your purpose on this earth. If you don't know what your purpose is, take a look at these resources. Because truly, if you do not pursue your purpose in this great nation, there's no other place you can go where you'll have more opportunity. If you do not pursue your purpose in this great nation, right here, right now, then the light of innovation eventually here in America will, well, it will turn to darkness.